In the heart of Atchison, Kansas, stands a house cloaked in darkness and mystery, the infamous Sallie House. Join us on a journey into the unknown as we peel back the layers of time to uncover the secrets that lie within. But before we dive into this mysterious and horror story of the Sallie House, if you enjoy this type of content, feel free to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel a lot. Now let's start this journey. Built in the 1860s by Michael Finney, the Sallie House was intended to be a sanctuary for his family. Yet fate had other plans. Tragedy struck when young Sallie, afflicted with a devastating illness, drew her final breath within these very walls. Some believe her spirit remains tethered to the mortal realm, forever haunting the halls she once roamed. But the story of the Sallie House is far from simple. Over the decades, it has borne witness to a myriad of inexplicable events, a tapestry woven with threads of sorrow and suffering. Locals speak in hushed tones of their encounters with the supernatural. The Sallie House? I wouldn't go near it after dark if you paid me. There's something not right about that place. My grandmother used to tell me stories about the whispers she'd hear coming from the Sallie House late at night. She swore it was haunted. As the stories about the hauntings at the Sallie House spread, investigators from around the world came to see with their own eyes what is happening there. I will leave some conversations here. Our goal is simple: to uncover the truth behind the hauntings of the Sallie House. With state-of-the-art equipment and a healthy dose of skepticism, we aim to separate fact from fiction. Did you hear that? It sounded like a child's laughter coming from the next room. I'm getting significant EMF spikes in this area. There's definitely something here. Now let's talk about the history of the hauntings from this house and how exactly did it become haunted. The home has been said to be the location of almost every type of ghostly activity. Apparitions, disembodied voices, objects moving on their own, shadow people, attacks, you name it. This could be why the home has gained much media coverage over the last 20 years. The home has even been featured on popular television shows such as A Haunting, Unexplained Mysteries, Ghost Adventures, and Sightings. The activity has been so severe at times that some believe the hauntings in the Sallie House could be demonic in nature. Others believe that the Sallie House is home to a portal of sorts that allows entities from the spirit world to enter our physical realm. Regardless of what lies behind the walls of the home, there's one thing everyone agrees on: the home is extremely haunted. People have stated that they have seen the apparition of a young girl for themselves, who many believe is Sallie, as well as the apparition of an older woman standing in the windows. Candles are known to light and burn on their own, objects pick up and move through the air on their own, and others have reported disembodied voices of men, women, and children. Scratching on the walls at night is commonplace, alongside the sounds of furniture being moved around. There have even been reports of more physical attacks and possessions. But why is the house named Sallie House in the first place? Two versions of the Sallie story exist, one being, according to the legend, a child named Sallie was brought to Dr. Finney's house by her mother for severe abdominal pain. He gave her anesthesia and began emergency surgery, as he believed that Sallie's appendix was about to rupture. However, he cut into her before the anesthesia kicked in. As he continued doing surgery, Sallie was screaming because she felt the pain and bled out, which ended up killing her. In the other version, Sallie was born as a result of an affair that Dr. Finney was having. When the little girl became ill, her mother brought her to Finney, since he would not allow her to go to the hospital for fear that his extramarital affairs would be exposed. Instead, he performed her emergency surgery himself. As the darkness unfolds, it was discovered in the early 2000s that a pentagram was drawn on the basement floor of the home. Satanic ritualistic remnants have even been discovered, as well as a luminol test that was performed, which highlighted signs of blood spatter in the closet of the master bedroom. Let's also talk about Tony and Deborah Pikman and their terrifying experience. When Tony and Deborah moved in, a month passed without activity. Once they began to settle into their new home, lights started to dim on their own, and animals began to act strangely. After the birth of their son, the activity picked up even more, and strange molds grew on household items. At one point, the couple even returned home from a day out to find all of the nursery's stuffed animals in a circle on the floor. That night, Tony began to feel intense burning on his back, and it was later discovered that he had 3 significant scratches running down his spine. After learning the home's history and about the story of Sallie, the Pikmans attempt to embrace Sallie as a sort of phantom daughter. Soon after, the attacks on Tony continued. During their child's birthday party, a doll even caught on fire for no apparent reason. After 2 years of being assaulted mentally and physically in the home, the Pikmans finally moved out. Debbie Pikman now believes that Sallie was not the spirit of a little girl, but a malevolent entity posing as a child in order to gain the trust of the family. For what reason, we'll never know. As the moon rises high above the Sallie House, casting long shadows across its weathered facade, one question lingers in the air. What secrets does this house hold? Is it truly a gateway to the spirit world, or simply a relic of a bygone era? The answers may remain elusive, but for those brave enough to venture into its haunted halls, the legend of the Sallie House will continue to echo through the ages.